I'm Gary Eastridge, Critical Response Coordinator for CCW Safe. I'm here with CCW Safe member Mike. Mike was involved in a critical incident a little over a year ago, and we're here to talk to him about his experience as a concealed carrier, what led him to choose CCW Safe, and his evaluation of the response he received from CCW Safe. Mike, how long have you carried legally with a permit?
Be 5 years this spring.
Ultimately, you decided, and we have several members that do this, you decided to go with multiple companies to make sure, I guess, all your bases were covered?
I did, based on some past dealings with certain insurance carriers that didn't end well.
Okay. We're not going to name those companies by name, but let's call it Company A and Company B. Was there anything in particular that led you to choose them?
Well, part of the decisional process is cost benefit. What's the amount of coverage? What's the premium or member fee? But the other thing is, since CCW Safe is not an insurance carrier, I feel that there are a number of advantages in a legal plan model versus an insurance carrier.
Real briefly, without going, like I say, going into a lot of detail, can you tell us about your incident?
I was contacted asking for help, and I made it clear that if I went to offer my help and try to de-escalate a situation, that I would bring the police. And I contacted the police at the time I left my home. I contacted them again on location. After some time waiting for the police and they did not arrive, situation developed and I was attacked, and ultimately it was necessary to use force to defend myself and others.
You were actually attacked twice, correct?
Yes.
This resulted in a police investigation. Your attacker was it's deceased. Can you tell me how the police first responded? How long did it take them to get to you?
From the time I placed the first call, which was shortly after I pulled out of my garage, and then 2 more calls to 911, it was approximately 21 minutes before police were on location.
21 minutes. You cooperated with law enforcement initially, and at some point you decided that it would be in your best interest to seek legal counsel.
Yes.
Is that something you had considered before? Is that something you had given thought to, or is this something that you just knew that the potential existed for criminal charges?
Well, whether it's a self-defense scenario or otherwise, I would generally be reluctant to speak to the police without the assistance of an attorney, even if I'm confident that the facts are in my favor, that my actions are justified, because things can get twisted.
And you were ultimately allowed to go home and were not arrested or detained, correct?
That's correct.
When did you first seek assistance from any of the self-defense coverages that you had.
Was the following day.
Do you remember who you called first?
I believe my first call was CCW Safe.
And at some point, you also called the other two companies that you were a member of, correct?
Yes.
Let's say Company A. What was the response you received from Company A?
Well, it seemed somebody was fielding calls from home. It was a major holiday, but from the initial point of contact, I believe there were at least 2 or 3 other individuals that didn't really assure me of anything except that they would start a claims process.
The second company, what response did you receive from them?
They have a third-party administrator, and the almost knee-jerk response was a reminder, if you will, that they're supplemental or secondary to any other coverage that I may have. In fact, I was instructed to file a claim under my homeowner's policy, which I did not do because not only don't I think it would be covered, but even if it's not, I don't need to add to my claims history.
And this didn't occur at your home, did it?
No.
What response did you receive from CCW Safe?
Well, the first point of contact accepted responsibility, and things developed quite quickly. An investigator was sent out and on the scene within 24 hours. That is it's important, reassuring to know that if the police may have missed anything, that some trained eyes are on location.
I believe you also spoke to our National Trial Counsel, Don West, and expressed to him that you had an attorney in mind who you wished to use.
Yes, I did.
Ultimately, as I recall, that attorney was unavailable probably due to the holidays, correct?
That's entirely possible.
Yeah. So we ended up hiring an attorney who met with you. How long after? How long after you called were you in contact with an attorney, a local attorney representing you?
The attorney was. I can't recall if I spoke to her on the phone beforehand, but she met your investigator and I at the location.
Which was the day after the holiday, which now we're talking a little less than right around 24 hours or so of the actual incident, correct?
Yes.
On a holiday weekend, actually, I believe.
Yes, because the holiday.
Now, this was a significantly traumatic event for you.
Yes.
How important do you think it was to have that boots on the ground, face-to-face support that our critical response? You referred to him as an investigator. That was my brother, Kyle Eastridge, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he's also a retired homicide investigator. How important was it for you and your family, because this is a traumatic incident for your whole family, correct?
Yes.
How important was it to have that support network there for you?
It's hard to put a valuation on it, but when your freedom hangs in the balance, you want some people that know how to play the game. I mean, I actually don't like to use the game analogy, but if you don't have the right direction and things are missed, it could end badly. So all the help you can get.
Now, the attorney we hired for you, she actually knew some of the police investigators, correct?
Yes, I think she knew both the detectives on the case.
You were able then to coordinate a interview at your convenience?
Yes.
How long after the incident was that?
I think it was at least a week, perhaps 10 days. One of the detectives had said, you know, didn't matter what day, just the convenience of my attorney, and so it was all very amicable.
Yeah. Do you think that having that working relationship was valuable in having that extra freedom in selecting a time for an interview?
I'm sure it was. I mean, I think if the police thought they were really going somewhere with it, that I probably would have been arrested on the night of the incident. But even so, I doubt they thought I was leaving town or anything, but it's still, it's interesting to me they were comfortable with not pressing to continue the interview.
I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball, something we didn't discuss earlier. With the benefit of hindsight, with the same 3 companies available, would you have joined the other 2 now, knowing what you know now?
No. And one of them I dropped the policy.
Well, Mike, I think that's all I really have. I appreciate you sitting down and visiting with me about something that I'm sure is very unpleasant, but we're glad everything worked out well for you.